So in this video today, we're going to explore the vagus nerve and heart rate variability. These are powerful tools for performance, stress management, and even emotional regulation. So you will learn how your breath directly influences your nervous system and how simple practices can help you shift from stress, overwhelm into calm, focus, and resilience. So who's this video for? This is going to be super helpful for any athletes, free divers, anyone who wants to learn how to lower their heart rate and increase their heart rate variability. But really, it's also going to be super helpful for anyone who wants to learn how to manage stress more effectively and improve overall well-being. So what is the vagus nerve and why does it matter? Most of us are familiar in terms of our nervous system with our parasympathetic and our sympathetic response, our fight and flight and our rest and digest. The sympathetic gets a bad rap, but actually that's incorrect. It's really healthy. We need it. It's our signal to get things done, to be able to push through, to do hard tasks. However, if we get stuck in our sympathetic, in our fight or flight, that's when it starts to cause a problem. We get health issues, mental health issues, and yeah, it's a lot of what we're seeing with burnout and anxiety and bits and pieces. So the important aspect is to be able to fluctuate between the two, and that's where our vagus nerve comes in. You can think of the vagus nerve a little bit like a brake, which takes us from sympathetic into a parasympathetic state. The vagus nerve is a communication highway, sending messages between the brain, the heart, the lungs, the digestive system, sending signals to be able to regulate. And this is all happening without any input from us. It happens when we're sleeping. So it's an involuntary response. So the benefits of working with our vagal nerve is multiple. So it can obviously promote relaxation and reduces our stress. It regulates our mood, it regulates our body functions, which means our heart rate will slow down, our breathing, our digestion, our immune responses. So we can really see the importance this plays in our well-being and in our performance. So something to know is that the vagus nerve is connected to our breath. So breathing is one of the most effective ways in order for us to be able to influence the vagus nerve and regulate our nervous system. So as I mentioned before, this is obviously involuntarily happening, but we can also start to have agency with it when we start to bring in our breathing. So when we inhale, our diaphragm moves down, and this actually creates more space for our heart, and it starts to expand, which actually then means our blood flows slower, and that actually creates a signal for our heart rate to start speeding up. On the exhale, however, the diaphragm relaxes, which actually constricts the heart rate. The heart has sort of less space, and so therefore blood flow starts to increase, which signals to the body, okay, we need to sort of slow down the heart rate now, which is kind of the brake. This natural fluctuation in heart rate with speeding up and down is sort of really healthy, and that's where our heart rate variability comes in. So the vagal brake is responsible for that variability. So it would sort of make common sense for consistency with our heart rate to be a good thing, but it's actually not. We want to have that variability. It's a sign of kind of good psychological health, better brain functioning, emotional flexibility, recovery, longevity. So that's why it's often a key indicator for our stress levels and in our performance. And then when we have lower HRV, this can signal sort of chronic stress. Maybe we're kind of starting to become sick, unwell, have flu, risk of burnout, all of that kind of stuff. So I want to give you a quick and simple practical tool which will help you activate the parasympathetic system and calm the body. So why this is important is, again, as I mentioned, this is naturally occurring, but the more we can have tools, we can start to influence and increase our heart rate variability, learn to be able to slow our heart rate down so that we can maximize on these benefits that come from that. So all we're going to do is take a long inhale through the nose, and then we hold that, and we take a long inhale through the nose, then we'll take another one and we just sniff it at the top there. So it kind of pops open our alveoli in our lungs. And then we slowly exhale and empty our lungs. And you'll see that this will start to calm you down. It sends a strong signal of safety to your nervous system and starts to create an immediate shift into calm. So I'll just show you what I mean. So we're going to go. And now my lungs are empty. So something just to mention with that is if you are wanting to train your HRV and your nervous system, just really focusing on exhaling as you go throughout the day will actually kind of flex that muscle, work that break. So anytime you kind of remember or think about it, I would encourage you to really just exhale, do a deep exhale. And then that will increase heart rate variability and decrease heart rate. So if you found this interesting, I'd love to hear your comments. I do actually have a 2-hour workshop called Unlock the Body happening. There's one online and then one happening in person in Cape Town. And this is blended for both free divers who want to learn to enjoy longer, safer, more relaxed dives, as well as just generally for people who are looking for key support around having resilience, mental health, just general robustness. So if you'd like to join, we have a couple of spaces left. Please get in touch and I'll send the details. I'll try and send a link below as well. All right, thanks so much. Take care.